Joining us now is Alison Hicks. Alison is a very interesting woman who has been a lot of places. One of the places she was that she probably didn't want to be at, though, was in what are called desert prisons, desert jails in Arizona. But before we get to that, Alison has written a book about her experiences, and it's called Backspin. She's going to be at Barnes & Noble in East Lansing, is that right?
Yeah.
On this coming Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. signing her book. Her book is also being considered as a potential movie, and it's called Backspin. If anyone wants to hear or see more about it, go to backspinmymovie.com, right?
Yeah, backspinmymovie.com.
It's very interesting, it's entertaining. Alison, tell me how you got yourself into a mess that ended you up in one of the most notorious sort of jails, prisons in the country. What was the name of the county in Phoenix?
Maricopa County.
Okay, and again, tell me the name of the sheriff, because people will have heard this name.
Sheriff Joe Arcario.
He's famous for making his prisoners wear pink pants.
Pink underwear.
So tell me what you did to get into this system.
I left my 6.5-year-old out in our cul-de-sac up in Anthem, Arizona, which is about 20 miles outside of Phoenix, Arizona. It's a gated community, and I left her for 2 minutes to walk up to our neighbor's house. From my SUV up to our neighbor's house, and that was considered child abuse.
Right, and what that ended up for you is you became part of the judicial system.
I did.
You mistakenly, from what I understand, pled guilty to a 5th-degree felony, which is very serious.
Very serious. Yeah, it was told to me that it was going to be a diversion program. That nobody would ever see it. It was going to go poof off my record, cut like traffic school was explained to me. And I was the head tennis pro up at Anthem, and I could go out and teach tennis out in the Hamptons, and it was very, very simple, just like traffic school.
Now that isn't what it turned out to be, though,
No,
is it?
no.
In fact, it was a full-blown felony that went on your record.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost a lot.
I
Tell
lost.
people what you had that you ultimately just was taken away from you and changed your life drastically.
I lost my reputation. I lost my career up at Anthem. My career was put on hold, but you never get your reputation back. When you're considered a child abuser, and teaching tennis, teaching children was my specialty. I taught children from age 3 to 8 was my specialty, even though I taught adults as well. I got back from teaching tennis in the Hamptons to 250 kids tennis at a very, very exclusive tennis camp in the Hamptons. I taught Madonna's kid tennis. I came back that summer, and after taking this diversion plea, and I had 2 probation officers, and they told me I could no longer teach kids tennis ever again in my life. I had to tell all my employers I was a felon by child abuser. I could never vote again in my life. And I had to have a full-time job and go to budget classes, report to probation, pay all these fees. And I ended up where I lost my tennis career. And I ended up having to sell my house, and I lost a very lucrative job up at Anthem. Lost my Brandon house. I had to move back to Scottsdale and abide by all the probation requirements.
Okay, and by slight violations of those requirements, you ended up
back in Tent City.
Back in Tent City.
Yep.
Tell people the experience in Tent City. Tell people what it was like to be in one of Joe's little prisons.
You don't ever want to go to Tent City. It's beyond description. The first time I went to Tent City, it was in January. It was 1 year later after the incident. And actually, CPS was never even involved in my case, because it really wasn't child abuse to leave your child at the neighbors. So it was a probation violation which landed me in Tent City. It was extremely, extremely cold in January in the tents. I was wearing a shirt about a little bit longer than this, very, very thin. I had one thin blanket, no pillow. It was about maybe 5 degrees in those tents in the winter. The girls they had to be rougher than the men. They're very, very rough in the tents. You get no sleep. You get fed 2 meals a day if you want to call them meals. There's holes in the tents. There's pigeons. The standards are horrifying. There's no medical attention. I was very sick. The girls were sick. The water in the showers is below 0. It was horrible. The standards. There's fights in the tents. The DOs, detention officers, they treat the women horrifying.